Hey guys, welcome back to another storytime video. So soon after the last one, well, it's actually a follow-up of the last one. I wanted to talk to you guys more about my quote-unquote broken electronics. Well, some of them are broken, some of them just like dying on me slowly. I want to actually make a follow-up video because I've been doing some thinking over the last couple days of what I actually want to do with at least most of them, or talk more about most of them that I've talked about in the last video. Also, doesn't this just set the mood? Perfect weatherman, pitch black skies, heavy rain, even though it's actually not raining IRL. It's actually very nice and sunny out. It's a little hot out today. We're actually not hot, but just a little bit warmer than normal. It's like in the mid 70s. I was actually going to turn this thing off before I started recording, but then I was like, you know what? Nah, keep it leaving in the background. It'll be a nice little scenery to have. Because I normally just kind of keep this running in the background like 24/7, even when I'm just like doing shit. Unless I'm on my computer, then yeah, I have it off because then I need to focus on what I'm doing and I can't have this loud TV, or just sometimes I have it on the computer. So like I said, this is a follow-up of the last video I did, and I want to talk to you guys about some of the electronics that I talked about and what I'm planning on doing with at least like all of them, and just some other updates just regarding on those electronics. What's that technically what it is? Some updates regarding those electronics. So I talked about my computer, I talked about my Backbone controller, I talked about the PS4 controller I bought, I talked about my Elgato capture card, and then sadly I had to talk about my Sony camera because it was something that I noticed while I was recording the video. So I'm gonna go pretty much in that same order, first the computer and then the rest. Well, I actually don't really have much of an update on this computer. It's pretty much nothing unchanged. I still want to get a new gaming laptop, and I say a laptop because I said in the last video that I don't have space in my desk for an actual desktop setup, so I have to stick with a laptop. And also because sometimes I travel to Mexico and I take my computer with me. I was actually looking around because I had this one HP laptop saved on my Amazon shopping list that actually had super good specs, and it was only like $750. But then I was telling my friends who are like more experts on gaming computers than I am, and they were like, no, don't get it, because it may have good specs, but it's HP. In the long run, that's gonna have like quality control issues, and it won't really last me. So it's technically gonna be either a repeat of what I'm dealing with my Legion right now, or it could very well be worse. And from personal experience, I have used 2 HP computers in my life. One was my dad's old HP computer from 2010, which we still have. That's how I started my YouTube channel. And I used an HP computer that I got in 2018. My dad's HP laptop, we still have it, and it still turns on, but it is just super slow. And I'm pretty sure it's because it's old hardware, it's on Windows 10, and we have so much stuff on it. We still have it just because we have a lot of old photos, so we're not throwing that out. That thing is like treasure, basically. Then, back in 2018, I got an HP computer that for some stupid reason had 32 gigabytes of SSD storage. Or it could have, no, it wasn't SSD. It had 32 gigabytes of SSD storage. 32 gigabytes? What the f***? On a computer, bro, like Windows, like the 2018, we had Windows 10. It was still like very resource heavy, and like, what do they expect us to use out of 32 gigabytes? Like, what the hell, HP? I saw a joke that somebody made about HP, because like saying what it actually stands for. I forgot how the joke went, but I know they were like making fun of HP for like their shitty computers. And yeah, so from those both experiences, like even like before, like when I started my YouTube channel and I was using my dad's old HP laptop, it wasn't the greatest experience. It actually had a lot of lag even back then, and that's probably because, well, it might have been after we updated to Windows 10, but I think even on Windows 7, I still remember it lagging a bit, but obviously it was nowhere as bad as it is today. So, as much as that is a good option, I gotta throw that one out because, well, it's HP. So, I went to eBay because, honestly, that's like the best place to find like cheap stuff. Like cheap good stuff anyways, like, or cheaper than normal. If you want really good stuff for super cheap, you just gotta go to Goodwill. Or there's a store that's like right across from my house. It's called Daily Deals, so it's basically like an Amazon return stuff. Maybe I should look there for like a a good gaming laptop that's like $10 or something, because I think the max they do is like $7. Like, they change their prices every day. Like, even if the product is like still like brand new, you'll still get it for super cheap. So of course, back what I was saying, I went to eBay. I found this like Lenovo Legion 5 because there's like Legion models, like I think they're mostly like Legion 5, Legion Pros, and they like update the models every other year, like every year. And one I found was the Legion 5, which was the 2022 model. I think it had an RTX 3090, which is a super good graphics card. It had 16 gigabytes of RAM. It had a 2 terabyte SSD, and I forgot what was the CPU it had, but I think it was like much better, or maybe just a little like I don't know, because the gigahertz speed was actually, I think, either a little lower, or I don't remember. I have to look at that CPU again. And it's at $750, so it's not bad. But again, I'm not like the expert on gaming laptops and things like that. I would have to talk to my friends about that, obviously, before I go crazy on getting a new computer. But here's the thing, I don't know when I'm gonna get a new computer. It's gonna be either, because my birthday's coming up, but I don't think I'll get enough money to buy a gaming laptop, obviously, unless Black Friday, but it's eBay, so I don't expect it there. And then either the holidays, or either wait till January when my next financial aid refund kicks in, or either summer. But definitely by summer, but I don't know. I'm doubtful about Black Friday, or like I'm doubtful about my birthday, Black Friday, and Christmas is an if, like 50-50. And then same with like January, but definitely by summer I will have one. But that's just one of the options I'm looking at, because I was looking around, okay, what are good brands for gaming laptops? And then people are saying it's either Asus or Lenovo, which are the best brands, and right now mine is a Lenovo. And besides the problems I'm having with it right now, I'm actually amazed that it's actually still working after 3 years. Although I got mine in 2022, but I think mine's the 2020 model, so, and the one I found was the 2022 model. I don't know, I'm gonna do more looking around, but in terms of my computer, that's all it really is. Although I do want to mention something, because I actually said when I was at Adobe Premiere Pro, lags on me constantly. Like sometimes the video will freeze when I'm editing it, like in the timeline. Like if you've edited on Adobe Premiere Pro, whenever you extend the timeline or make it shorter, like you can see video previews on the thumbnail, or like video thumbnails on the timeline where you're editing, and then sometimes they would just disappear and reappear like when you extend the timeline. If you don't edit with Premiere Pro, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But that's a thing I do a lot. And I noticed that's happening. But sometimes, or I mentioned that when that happens, whenever I'm playing a video and like the video previews don't show up, like when it's playing on the part that it doesn't show the video thumbnails on the timeline, that's where the video lags. And I was noticing the same thing when I was editing my video that I talked about for this one. Although then I realized, because I was editing a video that I filmed on this camera last night, and that same thing happened, but the editing did not lag on me. So I found it very strange. It either probably has to do with the MP4 format, or God knows what. So, but yeah, I'm trying to do like certain things to try to like temporarily like make it faster. Because I dealt with the same problem last year. All I really did was, well, clear out some storage, and I had like a little can of air spray, which I actually have one on me right now. It's this can right here. I've bought this can numerous times, and every single time I buy one of these, it's always damaged in shipping. Like this thing is supposed to have, there's supposed to be a cover around it, but I think they just throw it around. They don't even bubble wrap this. But yeah, I usually just clean out the insides of my computer using this, and if you listen to the sound, oh, sprayed out a bit. I hope it didn't touch my camera lens. Yeah, just in case it did. I'm not risking nothing. But you can use that to clean the inside of electronics, and these cans I think are like $5 on Amazon, so every time I run out, just buy a new one. Like, I know I have like a freaking vacuum here, like a mini vacuum, but I think this thing is a bit too big for it to reach inside the parts of the inside of the computer, so I use that can of air to like really get into like the details where the vacuum wouldn't reach. So I did that again, cleared out some storage, and right now, at least the last time I used it was yesterday. It was running okay, but I think the other day it was like lagging a lot on me, like my apps were not even loading anymore. So yeah, it's on and off, but I think it's that's a call that's a sign that I need to get a new computer. And again, I don't know when that will be. That will either be definitely probably not my birthday or Black Friday, 50-50 on Christmas, because it's like, yeah, I get money and I can combine that with the money I got for my birthday, and then I'll be working more, which I'm actually working more right now because I kind of got a adjusted school schedule. So well, now we'll see what happens. So that's my laptop. yeah, not much other than just telling you guys what it is that I want to get, maybe when. The second thing is my Backbone controller. Now, I did talk about that in the last video. I told you guys how I raged at it, slammed it against the wall because I raged, and it broke off a piece of the controller. The headphone jack came flying out, and I was trying to plug it into my phone, and it just would show as the audio source, and I couldn't change it back. So I mentioned that I actually sent the controller to Backbone almost 3 weeks ago, and actually today I just got the replacement. Right here, this is the replacement, and as you can see, there is a headphone jack, so it's pretty much brand new, and it looks pretty good. I tested it for like a minute to really be sure that it was going to work. The funny thing is, when I had my other Backbone controller, I would have this adapter because originally when I got my Backbone last year, I tried to fit it in with my phone and put it in the case, but like for some reason it wouldn't fit, and it might have just been the case I had. And so then I took the case off, and then still like it would just my phone would be all loose in the case. And so I was like, all right. And I found out that there's an adapter that can actually work with like these older phones, or like the thicker phones, because these are like the squarish ones. And yeah, that's how I essentially use my Backbone on my phone. But then when I was unboxing this one, whenever I was trying to find a little adapter that I would use for this, I found out that on the box it literally said, and I don't know how I missed this the first time, like last year, that it said that those are adapters to play without a case. So I realized, I was like, wait a second, you mean does this work with my case? And so I tried it, I plugged it in, and sure enough, it actually worked with my phone case. And I was like, oh shit. So now, because before I would always just take my case off whenever I want to play a game. So now I can actually fit it in here. What I would do, it is a little tricky to get the port inside, but what I would do is I would just I plug this part in first, then I would extend this, make it reach the top of the phone, and bam. So yeah, that's super cool actually. So now I don't have to take the case off whenever I'm freaking gonna use this on my phone. And so that's nice. So that's my Backbone controller. It's back. I'm gonna try not to slam it anymore. Try to control my anger when I'm raging. And actually that brings us to the next thing, which I brought up in the last video, and that is my PS4 controller, the Cameo PS4 controller. Then I mentioned that I bought this cheap on eBay. The right analog stick has stick drift, and I got a partial refund, and so I get to keep this, I guess. But I tried this the other day. I think I was playing Left 4 Dead with my friends. You guys know I streamed that game before, and the stick drift was so bad, it literally, made me lose in my game, and I kept on dying because I couldn't really move properly because this kept moving by itself because it has stick drift. So I eventually had to reconnect another controller, and that's where I made the decision. I was like, you know what, it's gonna collect dust at this point, just sell it. And I have some other controllers, like I bought some GameCube Joy-Cons back in I think 2023, and I some like third-party GameCube controllers that don't really work well, also back in 2023, so I could sell those. The GameCube Joy-Cons apparently has stick drift, and one of the buttons actually doesn't really work. I don't see the stick drift issue, but I do notice the button ones. But I don't know, to be honest, because those like honestly aren't super annoying to use, except for the third-party GameCube ones, because well, they're third-party. So, and like not the good third-party controls either. See, like this one for example, this is like the good one, and I'm talking about like the bad ones. But my point back being that I'm gonna sell this controller because it's actually like a nice controller that I just kind of don't want to keep around if I'm not gonna use it. And it's on my eBay page. I'm actually selling it for like $10, so about $7 less than what I bought it for. And I put in the description that it does have stick drift on the right analog stick. So I'm making people aware of that now because the seller who sold me this didn't make me aware of that. So it's unfortunate. So it's on my eBay page for $10. I'll link it down below. If links still work, actually I think they show it in descriptions. I know they don't work on comments, but essentially what my plan was, I was like, you know what? I guess I'll just use my Backbone controller again on my PS2 emulator, because the sole reason that I bought my my PS4 controller was because when I was playing with the emulator, I noticed that whenever I would move the analog sticks, like if I'm aiming, like particularly in GTA, if I'm aiming something like a gun from far away, or like a sniper rifle, I noticed the analog sticks move too fast. So I was like, okay, maybe that's a controller problem. So I bought the PS4 controller for that sole purpose. But then I realized, no, it was still the same thing. So it's more of an emulator problem. So I was like, okay, so if that doesn't fix it, I might as well, I'll keep using this because it has the same layout. However, I told myself something. I was like, wait a second. If I ever want to play on my TV, and the only controller I could really use, because I have a PS3 controller. I don't know if you guys saw it, and this works perfectly. Like, it's basically flawless. But for some stupid reason, it doesn't work on my PS2 emulator that well. Like, when I configure the controls, it's just like, they don't configure correctly. Even if I press like, this be the buttons, it just, I don't know, like it doesn't want to work for me. And I don't think this can also connect to Bluetooth on Windows, because I guess it has something to do with like the way they designed the software of this controller back then. I don't freaking know. But yeah, so the only other controller I know works is my Switch Pro controller, my Nintendo Switch Pro controller. But as you see, it's not in the PlayStation layout. It has the A, B, Y, and X button layout. So then I was like, you know what? Is there a way that I could get like stickers that has like the PlayStation button layout when I can just paste it on this controller? And turns out there is. So I actually bought them on eBay today. They're like $2. And I'm basically gonna paste these on the Pro controller. So whenever I want to play my PS2 emulator on my TV, which can be here or sometimes in Mexico, then I know what button layout to use. And you're probably thinking, oh, but then you're gonna forget the ABYX layout. No, I remember it already by default, because I've used this controller for so many years, and I've been used to like the Nintendo button layouts for years. Not like this, for example. So I don't know circle, X, square, and all that. Like, I know what the buttons are, but like if I'm not looking at them and it's telling me to do a control with these buttons, it's like, okay, I don't know what button I'm gonna press. So that's pretty much the plan for that. Is pretty much my backbone's back, so I'm gonna use that again. And so on my PS4 controller, and then sometimes if I want to play on my Switch Pro controller, so I at least know the layout, I'm gonna put those stickers on these buttons. So that's my backbone controller and the PS4 controller. Basically, because they kind of relate to each other in this subject, I was like, alright, let's talk about them both at the same time. Now, what about number 4? Well, my Elgato capture card. That was another thing that I talked about. Now, that is in transit. I actually sent it out Friday, right after I filmed that video. And today, Elgato got it. And then literally like 30 minutes ago, like literally a couple hours after they received the one I sent them, and a few hours later, which was basically a few minutes ago, they already sent me an email saying that the replacement is on the way. And I'm like, god damn! Like, these guys work faster than freaking Backbone, because I sent my Backbone controller like maybe almost 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, and I think it took them like, it took a week for it, no, like a couple days for it to arrive. And then I was waiting a week, and I was like, okay, I haven't heard back from them, so let me ask them, yo, it's all good? And so yeah, and then I think last week they sent it out. So it took a while, and actually, funny enough, when I got this, it was actually not just this. They sent me a whole brand new, like the packaging and everything. So now I have 2 boxes of the Backbone controller. So if it's a messy closet here. I just have boxes of stuff. But as you can see, this is the one that came in today, and this is the one I bought last year. So now I have 2 boxes of this. Alright, I got off topic for a bit, but my point being is that Elgato actually worked a lot quicker than Backbone to already send me the replacement unit. So it's very possible that I will get my replacement capture card this weekend. So that temporary, because I told you guys I bought a temporary capture card from Walmart that's supposed to be way better quality than the backup ones that I've already had. Which I'm about to talk about that in just a second. But basically that don't mean that I only have to use that probably just this week. And then by this weekend I can go back to using my Elgato capture card. And hopefully it's fixed, man. Because at least with the Backbone, as you can see, it's all good. The headphone jack is actually there. It's not bulging out. And I made sure to test the audio source on my phone with the Backbone. And it works perfectly. It doesn't detect this as an audio source. And I can use my speaker. But that's the update on my capture card, and let me actually show you guys the one I have right now. So this is it right here. It's from a third-party brand called Monster. This is how the card looks. I anticipated it to be much bigger, but it actually isn't. This is how you connect it with the USB port. So yeah, this is gonna be my temporary capture card, I guess, for just a few days. I used it for a stream Sunday night, and yeah, it came out alright. I definitely noticed some colors were off in like darker areas, but it was honestly still, it was solid. Good enough at least to be a backup, and who knows, if my Elgato malfunctions again, which I hope it doesn't, then I could use that as a backup. I have a better backup to use now. So yeah, and now the fifth thing, which this one breaks my heart a lot because it's just kind of sad, and that's my Sony vlogging camera. So that's why I'm filming with my Panasonic camcorder and not my Sony vlogging camera, because if you notice in the last video, man, you actually can't see my face all that well. Is it really getting that dark out? Like, the clock changed a few days ago, but it's not even 5 yet. It's only 4:30. My point being is, I got off topic, but in my last video, I noticed that my Sony camera had like glitches in the screen whenever I would flip it. So when I would see myself, it would look all like staticky, but then midway through, the whole screen just died. So let me show you guys again. So here's the Sony camera. So it's the Sony, what's the model number down there? The HX80. It's such a beautiful camera. It's such a nice camera. So let me show you guys the problem. Let me recreate it again. So as you can see, turn this bad boy on if it wants to turn on. There we go. So as you can see right now, it looks okay. You can see it still looks like normal. You know, the screen looks fine. But watch, it's when I flip it over. So let's pay a bit of attention. So as you can see, I'm gonna flip it up. There. You can see the color change to green for some weird reason. And oh, you guys saw that. And now the whole screen died when I did that. So I'm doing that a little slowly. And so yeah. And now whenever I flip it all the way, yeah, I can't fucking see myself. And that's the whole point of this camera, is for me to actually see myself whenever I'm vlogging or filming myself with this. See, if I had the static lines like that, I wouldn't mind it all that much, because that was what's happening at first when I was filming my last video. But then halfway through it, that happened. So now I can't even see myself, and that's honestly just so sad, man. I don't know. I still think it was my sister who did it, because again, it was a coincidence that before I gave her this to use on the school field trip, it wasn't doing that. And afterwards it wasn't. Maybe she dropped it on accident without even knowing. So maybe it was like, I don't know, maybe she did it on accident and wasn't aware. So I don't know, but at this point it's like, I can't use this thing anymore, man. Like, you guys have seen that. Ah, man, it's so sad, dude. Because I love this camera, man. It's a nice little camera. And this was my first vlogging camera. I know I bought like several others later on, but now it's like, nah, because I don't use it that much. And I paid a good amount of money for those, so I sold them back. And so this one was the cheapest one I got for $200. I got it back in 2021. Well, if you want to buy this thing now, it's like $400, and I'm like, god damn. And that can be sent for like point-and-shoot cameras. Like, they've gone up in value for some weird reason. So now, like the other one I bought, the Canon SX730, I got it for $300 and back 2.5 years ago. Now they cost like $500, $600. So they're about what a G7X used to cost like. And don't even get me started on the G7X. That one's like $1,000 now, and I'm like, damn. So I don't know, it's like these things grew in popularity that now everybody wants one, so they've gone up in value. Yeah, supply and demand, but f***ing A. And yeah, so this thing now costs more, but I don't know, man. I can't even use this to film myself. If the vlogging or the flip screen doesn't even work, at this point the only thing you can really use it for is to take pictures, which, I mean, I have my phone for that. I don't really use a camera to take photos. So I came to the decision that I'm gonna have to sell this, which is, it's a real damn shame, man, because it's like, it's again such a nice camera, but now like the whole purpose of it is it has the flip up screen for a reason, for me to see myself, and now I can't even do that. So yeah, and yeah, I probably would have been more sad if this is a camera that I use often, and yeah, because if I try to take this into Sony, I think they would charge me money for it to get it fixed. Like, I would probably end up paying more than what the camera's worth. So I think I'm gonna have to sell it, man. It's just like, there's no use for it anymore, and I also don't use it that much anyway, even though it still kind of hurts me. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of what I have to do now. I'm gonna have to sell this thing. And I could probably get, because technically, watch, the screen technically does turn on and it looks fine there. It's just once you flip it around that the screen goes black because something died in the connectors. So I could at least probably get maybe some, like, I'm gonna say $275 out of this, because I was looking around on eBay for like cameras, this exact model for parts. There were some that didn't even work that I think were more expensive, and some were cheaper. So I'm gonna try to even it out there. Maybe $275 is what I'm gonna go for. At first, I do have some files on here I need to clear out first before I do sell this. As a bonus, I want to talk about another camera. Now, thankfully, this one isn't broken fully, but let's talk about it because that's why I'm using my Panasonic to film. So, this is my Canon Vixia HFR 400. I had an R700 that I broke a few years ago because it just fell down when I was rail fanning once and the whole LCD shattered. And then I got this camera. Now this camera still works, so I'm gonna turn it on and it still works. See, watch, everything works as it should. I should change the time, but as you can see, the screen works, everything works as it should. And yeah, you can see, I see myself. So this camera works. But a few weeks, no, not a few weeks, a few days ago, like a week and a half ago, I was filming the opening of the Silverline, the Dart Silverline, which is being trained by my area. I was filming with this camera. I had it in my backpack, and I put it down for a bit, but I accidentally ended up dropping it. I threw it down a bit too hard, I didn't even notice. So when I opened my backpack, I saw that the wrist strap that goes around the camera was loose. And that's because I find out that this little piece is broken. So yeah, that means that's why the wrist strap got all loose, because it was hanging around here. And it was dangling, and I didn't want to have that while I was filming, so I just pulled the whole wrist strap out. And the next day I was trying to fix that little plastic part, try to glue it in, but I just could not get it in, and it kept falling, so I was just like, alright, you know what, I wanted to at least try to fix it. I had my mom help me, but she was like, you know what, if it's going to keep doing that, you should probably just leave it that way. And on top of that, if I'm going to put the wrist strap back together, then yeah, it's going to probably make it wear out even faster because of the weight of it. So I just threw it out, and now this is how this camera looks. And, you know, that's not really a big deal. But when you're actually holding this, it just feels so weird. Because I'm used to having the freaking strap around the camcorder. You know, if you use camcorders, they're supposed to have straps around them. So holding it like that just feels so weird. I guess kind of for that reason, I might not use this thing as much. Because, you know, I want to at least, you know, you gotta hold the camera the way it's supposed to be held. You know, like a camcorder is supposed to have the wrist strap. Well, technically it still works, so you can still record video, you can see yourself, the zoom and everything, all that still works, so at least that's good, because I was a bit nervous that when I dropped it, I had actually broke it, but no, it was just that little plastic piece. So just a minor inconvenience there, but I feel like it's a bit, like, enough, a bit, to, like, make me just, like, not want to use this thing as much, because again, I'm used to holding the wrist strap on the camcorder, but I don't know, but it's because, like, I film with both of these cameras, even though I've used a Canon Vixia for over 7 years, and I've only had this Panasonic for 2.5 years. I just can never make up my mind with this kind of stuff, because it's like, you know, both camcorders have such good quality, but it feels like more, it looks like from the looks of it, you might see me use my Panasonic a lot more, just for that little convenience of having the wrist strap. But yeah, just want to throw this one in there, but at least this one still works. And yeah, so that's my story time video, or a follow-up video on my latest story time video regarding some of my dying electronics. So technically I have 2 that are coming back. One is back already, another one's coming back. One is still, I guess, dying on me, and I use that one on a daily basis. Then there's a Sony camera, which I'm heartbroken about because that was my first vlogging camera. And I've had it for 4 years, and it served me well, man. I actually filmed some pretty nice videos on that thing. But if I have no use for it because of that, then yeah, I have to sell it. I guess also because, again, I haven't been working a whole lot, so maybe I could make a little bit of money from that. And again, I don't use the camera a whole lot anymore, because I just kind of stopped vlogging. I don't really vlog anymore. If I do decide to at least vlog again for the time being, I'll probably either use this thing, but I mean, my phone has a very good camera on it too. You know, camera qualities on the iPhones have gotten a lot better, to the point where they're just like pretty good enough to make as your main camera for YouTube videos. You know, it's not like back in the day. But alright, that's enough of my yapping. My voice is getting tired. I'll probably edit this video later tonight, who knows. But that's a follow-up video. I hope you guys enjoyed my yapping about my electronics. Hopefully a year from now, at least, most of these issues won't come back to haunt me. And then again, if anyone's interested, I'm selling this, and I'll put the Sony camera up on my eBay page later on. I just gotta clear out some files, and then I'll list it up. I'll include the SD card, the box that came in, because I still have that, and the spare batteries as well. But alright guys, that's gonna be it for this video, so hope you guys enjoyed my yapping. Still have this in the background. It's getting a little brighter out because it looks like it's supposed to be back to light rain, not heavy rain. So, alright guys, that's gonna be it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.